Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
Well, we may be in the summer doldrums, but our stock strategists are never at a loss for providing their top picks here each week. This week, no exception. Brian Bolin, Dave Bartosiak on deck to favor us with their top picks that people should be paying attention to. And Brian, you start with one of the May sisters.
Right, Ellie Mae, as opposed to Freddie Mac
or Sally Mae.
Sally Mae,
right.
Or any of those. Those are usually government agencies.
This one's not.
This one is not a government agency. It's a publicly traded company. Deals with mortgages.
Right.
And the idea here, the big tailwind here that I'm looking at for this is that there is a low interest rate environment. Interest rates continue to remain low. We also have a full employment. So we have a pretty large demand here for housing with the cheap capital. There's a good chance here that we're going to see an increase in refinances and new mortgage origination. We've seen the housing market has been pretty hot. This is one of the ways to play that, the housing boom.
So the connection here is that this company operates mortgage origination networks.
Right. So the more mortgage originations, the more new home buyers out there, the better it is for this type of company. They will get a certain amount of that market share.
Right.
It's a Zacks rank number 2, and if you take a look at the screen here, we've got a in growth and an F in value. And that's one of the things that I love to see, because I want investors that are looking for growth more than they're looking for value. And I need those metrics to be completely opposite. So the growth guys are going to be chasing after the growth number. The value people are going to be sticking away from this sort of thing. And I always like to say that there's like an 80% gap between where a growth investor is going to be selling a stock and where a value investor would be buying. And the inverse is true as well. So I really like to see that in the style scores there. I also have one other thing that I'd like to show here. This is the price and consensus chart. Great thing that we have here at Zacks. Shows all the earnings estimates over the last few years and where Ellie Mae stock has been. We can see that they've consistently beat earnings, and they did so on Thursday as well. They beat earnings and guided higher. The stock traded down by about 7% on the day. But as you can see, anytime that there's been a sizable dip here, we've ended up seeing new higher highs. So while the stock is up a little bit this morning here, plus 4%, almost 5%, I still think that the stock goes over 100 in the near term.
This morning's August the 1st. That's where we're sitting here talking, Dave. We need to hear about your pick, Euronet Worldwide.
Yeah, so I actually stole this from Mr. Bolin way back in the day when he used to run Home Run. This was actually one of his picks, and it's done quite well. So thanks there, Bolin.
Hey, anytime, Dave.
But EEFT is a nice play on electronic payments and money movement in emerging markets. So in Europe, in India, and in China. So while we take it for granted here because there's an ATM on every corner, you don't exactly have that in the developing world. So this is one way to play that. Okay. Zacks rank number 1 strong buy. Had a great earnings report last week, I believe it was. Beat on the top line and on the bottom line. But let's take a look at this price and consensus chart here on Zacks.com. Again, one of the favorite tools here. I know Brian likes to use it. So you see here that the company has consistently grown their EPS over time. These are kind of the year-over-year numbers. And if you notice, analysts have a tendency to revise these numbers throughout the course of the year. Same thing starting to unwind here this year. So while the stock is kind of chopped around really in between like 80 and 55-ish, it looks like after this consolidation with these EPS estimates moving in the right direction, I think we'll break out to the upside, and it'll be nice heading into the end of the year.
All right. Do either of you own either of these?
I do not.
I have it in Home Run Investor, but I don't personally own it.
Okay. Thanks for that. Don't forget, more stock information always available on our website, Zacks.com. Those charts that you see these guys use, accessible there as well as commentary, stock picks, and stock picking strategies, all able to be linked to off the homepage, Zacks.com. With Brian and Dave, I'm Terry Ruffalo.